All right, got a little Adventure Time action going on here. A little shakedown break-in trip from Paris Mountain. It's a Saturday. Actually started filming this kind of late. One, got the memory card from a GoPro, so I gotta do the whole thing on my phone. Two, it's so busy up here during the day on Saturday. You walk around and talk to the camera. I have to wait till it gets a little later to get a little further in, get some privacy. I need to So, filming on my phone, my iPhone 12. Hopefully the quality is decent. I like focus on the sky there, give you guys a little better view than my ugly face. It's early March 6th. So it's starting to get dark a little later. Sunset is at like 6:30 or so. Time changes in another week. So I got some new La Sportiva Wildcats. I need to break those in before I do the Foothills Trail, which is going to be 78 miles total that I got to do in a couple weeks. I got basically a week off of work. I'm going to try to do the whole thing. I'm going to do the 5-day version, which is the shortest version of that hike, which averages out to about 15 miles a day. There's a 7-day version, like a 6-day version, and then the 5-day version. 5-day version is obviously the hardest because you got to cover all those miles in less time. So I need to get these shoes broken in. My feet are hurting a little bit just from this hike. I switched back to the Wildcats. I mean, my old ones. I got hundreds of miles on those things, and they're still going. I just need new shoelaces for them. But the tread's wearing down. I tried switching over to Ultras. I don't know. Sometimes I like the Ultras, but I really, at the end of the day, the Wildcats are more versatile, I would say, because of the sole on them. Like the Ultras, if I want to go for a jog around the neighborhood, you ain't doing it in those Ultras because they're both so thin that your feet, it will just kill you. It's like running on the pavement barefooted. With Wildcats, they've got enough cushion in them. I can go for a jog around the neighborhood. I can wear them to the gym, or I can go out on a hike, and they're good in all those different terrains. And honestly, the grip on these is better when I've been up through. Going through all kinds of different terrain, the Wildcats seem to have better traction. So I'm gonna stick with those from now on. You find something you like, stick with it. I did try some of the, I can't remember the name of them. I'll throw a version of them up here in the video. They're expensive shoes. They're like $200 something shoes. They're like nurses and people wear them. They're supposed to be like super fancy. I tried those for like a week and they were just too cushy. They were too smushy. And when you're out here on something like this, you want to have some feeling of grip. You don't want that smushy feel because then you can't really tell if you're slipping or if it's just your shoe. Let's look at that sunset behind me. That's beautiful. Look at that. Y'all wish y'all was here right now. You know you do. Doing a hammock setup over here. So I got the hammock, my Warbonnet hammock. I got the owl. It's a cheap tarp. I got the other rainfly one too, but it's much bigger. The big thing was, I tore everything out of my pack here. There's a whole pack shakedown here. I'm trying to just figure out what other additional things I can eliminate, how light I can get it. My pack's at about, when I left with it today, it was around 18 pounds. That's with food and fuel and all that, some of the consumables. My base weight with this setup is around 14 pounds. The biggest issue I'm gonna have on that trail is gonna be the food. Being out there for 5 days, I gotta carry a crap load of food on me. There's no resupplies or anything. So I have to carry a few pounds of food. So I've got that pretty streamlined at home now. I'll go over that at some point, like what my food setup is and how I planned it out. I did it the last time I did the Foothills Trail, which I only did the middle section last time because I didn't have time. I did a 3-day, ended up doing 40 miles in 3 days, and I used every single bit of food. I ran out of food the final morning. Didn't even have a snack left by the time I got to the car. So I measured that one out perfect. So I plan on doing that again this time, getting the exact same food, because that's the worst when you're carrying all this extra food you don't really actually need because you think you're gonna starve to death out here or something. Got some other campers back over there. But yeah, Paris Mountain's nice. The thing about Paris Mountain, little Paris Mountain review. The reason I go here for like small hikes or just like when I'm trying to do some running or stay in shape for getting out on the trail it's close to my house. It's, you know, 15, 20 minutes from my house. I can get up here, and it's, you know, you're up on this mountain. It's called something else. It's not a mountain. It's got a different name to it. But it's got a little bit of elevation. Like I said, I did 2,000 feet of elevation today on here, so over 6 miles. So that's not too bad for a good little spot to practice and warm up and test gear and everything. The only issue with this is it's busy, you know, especially if you come here on a weekend, on a Saturday like today. You know, I didn't even shoot any video hiking in here because it was just, you know, so many people on these trails. I don't, you know, be out there shooting video like a weirdo, even though I'm doing it here and I'm a weirdo. So it's just like the idea of getting caught being a weirdo, I guess, is what the issue is with filming yourself. It's like, okay, I'll put this out to the world on YouTube and not care, but God forbid somebody walking by actually see me making the video, then it's embarrassing. It really makes no damn sense at all, does it? So we're gonna be, I found it with a hammock setup, my preferred way to go hammock is with a sleeping pad on the inside. Skip the underquilt. Weather conditions, it'll probably be a little colder. It's definitely gonna be a little colder than it is tonight when I go out in a couple weeks. I think right now we've got, today the high was like 60 something. It'll get down into probably the low 50s, maybe upper 40s at coldest tonight. I think it's gonna get a little cooler that part of March. I'll probably have some nights or mornings where it's in the upper 30s, but nothing crazy. So I'm using my inexpensive, $120 Nature Hike down bag that I got. I got the little liner, Sea Summit cotton liner, which gives that a little extra warmth, and it also keeps that plasticky, you know, feel that they use for those things. It keeps it off you, and this is like a cotton, so it feels a lot nicer on your skin. I use my hammock, and I put my Nemo pad, it's my Nemo Tensor pad in the hammock. It kind of straightens the hammock out, makes it a little more flat, and gives you a little flatter lay in there, which I like. And you can sleep on your side easier. And then, since see how small this thing packs down, this is your insulation layer, so you don't need an underquilt at that point. And then if you've ever used an underquilt, it's like carrying a whole extra sleeping bag. That's basically what an underquilt is. It's a sleeping bag that you basically strap to the bottom of your hammock. So it's big and it's bulky. But this does the same thing, and it packs down a lot smaller, and it gives you a more flat, straight lay. So I prefer to use a sleeping pad in the hammock and eliminate the underquilt. Other than that, I brought a pillow. Probably won't need this. I do like this pillow though. I didn't like it at first. This Thermarest. The key to this pillow, which I didn't do yet, is you have to get it out and let it fluff up for a little while. Because if you just take it out when it's compressed, then compress for a little bit, it's not very good. But if you let it sit for a little bit and fluff up, it actually turns into an actually really nice pillow. Magical pillow material that they're using. What time is it? It is almost 7 o'clock. I have not made dinner yet, and I gotta get a fire going, so let's work on that. Good morning, world. If you can hear that, I finally found kids that are louder than mine. Starting at about 7 o'clock this morning, they're just singing and screaming at the top of their lungs for no reason. They are all the way on across the lake, the other side. Like, way back over there somewhere. But they were going till about 9, 10 o'clock last night, and then first thing this morning they were, nice little alarm clock. So, yeah. The thing about Paris Mountain, like I said, it's a highly trafficked area. These sites aren't horribly hard to get to. There's only a few miles in to get to these trailside things, and then they're spaced out pretty good, but you're still, you know, a few hundred yards probably from each other. As far as how last night went, Definitely glad I did this little shakedown hike, because I haven't tried this particular setup yet. I've tried all different pieces of this setup with different other setups, but I've never tried all these gear pieces in tandem with each other. And definitely some improvements that I need to make. Like usual, got most of my sleep after like 2, 3 in the morning. Is usually when I get my best sleep. Up till then, I'm kind of restless. Watching stuff on my phone and things like that. But got really windy last night. No rain, but around say 2 a.m. that wind started kicking up. The tarp started blowing. This thing started flapping all around. I didn't feel like getting up and tying it down all the way. I kind of left it. I just kind of tightened it back up more so it wouldn't flap too much, and kind of just left it in this particular setup right here. What is this button for if I can't flip it? You gotta flip it. Okay, let's just flip it. It's not recording. Flip it. So it's the Wise Owl tarp. I'm still debating on this tarp. It gives you decent coverage. It's not the most sturdy tarp. I didn't put a true ridge line on it. Definitely, I was trying to go skimpy with this really thin black bank line. You can't even see it on the camera unless it's so thin. I mean, it held in some wind last night, so it worked. But I could definitely see unbinding that and then redoing it a couple times. It probably would snap. So I might have to go back to the paracord. I used the Nemo Tensor pad in my cheaper Pathfinder hammock last time. It's a heavier hammock. It's got a bug net included in it and everything, but it was easier to lay that one straight. Because with these, especially this hammock here, is designed mainly for your diagonal lay. It's really super wide. So the pad, at first I was trying it without the gossamer. I got this little gray pad under there. I was trying to see if I could get away without using that and save a little, not weight, the thing doesn't weigh much, but space in my pack. But the pad slides everywhere without it, so I'll have to stick with that. But then this hammock isn't as comfortable as that Pathfinder hammock, which is a cheaper hammock, but it's heavier with the pad in it, because this one is just, because it has this built-in ridge line, it really wants to be used the way a hammock's supposed to be used, and not used in kind of the way I want to use it, which is just tighten it out, sleeping pad, straighten it out. So it was comfortable, but not as comfortable as the other setup. Pillow, probably don't need. I was debating on doing this. Usually with a hammock setup, you don't need a pillow. Usually it's more for a tent. This thermarest, see how much this thing fluffed up? You take it out, it's like not that fluffy, but now it's nice and got some firmness to it. It's a little firm. So if you're on a tent, that's good, but in the hammock, it's kind of unnecessary. I didn't really use it most of the night, so I can scratch that. Then the sleeping bag, I was warm the whole night. It only got down to like 56 last night, but it was really windy. It definitely felt colder. The sleeping bag's very clammy. That's the only thing I don't like about it. It touches your skin, and it gets up around you. It's very clammy. So it's not comfortable. It's warm. So I have a sleeping bag liner just down here, which I was using with it part of the night, to try to kind of combat that, so that this wasn't touching my skin. This is touching my skin. This is just straight up cotton. But throughout the night, you're moving around, and that thing becomes bunched up. And I think there's some nights I'm going to be getting into the 30s, and this setup's only going to keep me warm into the 40s at most. With the wind in the 50s last night, there was a couple of times where I had to bundle up, so I might have to revisit that. We'll see. Might be time to invest some more money. So my wife ain't gonna like. But anyway, start getting stuff packed up here. Might eat something. I don't know. It's another thing. I'm glad I did this, because staying in trail shape, it's a big thing for me. Trying to stay in trail shape when I'm not actually hiking.
And so recently, the last couple months, I would say, last 2 months or so, week or two while on it. Here's my view this morning, the lake. It's cloudy out. Everybody bring any food for breakfast? I guess the only thing food I got left is some ramen noodles and a Cliff Bar. So I'll work with that. One win. These bad boys. Yeah, the booties. I was debating on bringing the booties. Booties are a win. I'm bringing the booties. They're just perfect around camp. They're super comfortable. It's like wearing nothing. Keep your feet really warm too. And they slip on and off so easy. Not dealing with putting your shoes on and stuff when you need to get up and go to the bathroom or whatever. The booties, and these little neoprene booties that don't weigh anything. Booties are a win. I have to rename my trail and my YouTube channel the Trail Booties. I got mountain bikers out here already. Let's get the show on the road.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.